are not here.
No!
So sitting in for Dan Patrick and hosting the Dan Patrick Show, here's Steve COVINO and Rich Davis.
Yo, here we go. Another fun week.
How are you so giddy? Oh, my goodness.
We had a little extra time off.
Wow.
4th of July weekend was nice.
Rich Davis got his rest in, I guess. COVINO and Rich in for the great Dan Patrick live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Remember, our show is going to be broadcasting live from the MLB All-Star Game, Atlanta, the ultimate baseball hotspot. And you can be part of the excitement at Capital One All-Star Village, Saturday, July 12th through Tuesday the 15th. Head to the Cobb Galleria for baseball fun, live entertainment. Rich will be juggling for you. And interactive games. Buy tickets today at allstargame.com. I'm pumped about that. I'm pumped to be here. Day 2 of our segmented, extended Dan Patrick hat trick. Hope you had a happy holiday weekend.
Well, baseball all-star game. Should Juan Soto be sad? Was he snubbed? I mean, he's had the month of all months, but
he was player of the month. He had a late comeback, and he's been on a tear recently, so he had a crappy start, and he was sort of enemy number 1.
Yeah, and your dude Mookie Betts, Danny G, he was one of the snubs, correct?
Well, that's why fans shouldn't get the final say with these stupid votes. I always thought that was dumb because you get a bunch of Yankees, Dodgers, and I'm a Yankees fan. You know, you get guys like, man, I'm happy for him. Jazz Chisholm, is he really an all-star? I don't know. I mean, he's been hot.
Jazz.
He's the opposite. He's been hot recently, right? But he missed a lot of time. He's just popular and gets a lot of votes because he plays for the Yankees.
Well, here's my question.
I'm not hating. I'm just stating.
We're going to get to a lot today. We're going to talk bobbleheads. We're about to pay tribute to a legend who's, I think one of the GOATs. We're going to talk about a weird retirement plan for like 25 years from now when you're ready to hang it up.
Weird or awesome? We'll let you decide.
And, of course, we're going to start getting into a bunch of NFL. But I got to ask, fans voting, are we leaving things in the hands of a bunch of knuckleheads?
Without a doubt.
But is it...
And by the way, who really does that stuff?
But is it how it should be?
Do you watch Love Island? Do you bust out your phone and start voting afterward?
You voted for Bo Bice on American Idol back in the day.
No, my point is, it's like, I don't know. I don't put a lot of credibility into people that do that. I don't have an official vote in anything. I get it, be involved, and that's fun, but do you vote for it? It's just a bunch of ninnies who keep voting and voting and voting. For the most part.
I have buddies that might fill out like one bracket with their kids or something, and then. But you're right.
For the kids, I get it. That's fun to feel like you have a say. A lot of times, much like real life, Rich, I feel like my vote doesn't matter much.
So you're like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But I do wonder, do you want the star players there, even if they're having a bunk season? Like Tatis Jr. is not lighting it up.
No, I think it's something earned. Man. I really do.
Like Juan Soto had a rough start. He came on obviously in June, but he's a star.
I think you earn it. What about the guys who aren't superstars but having superstar seasons? Yeah, no, I think they could participate in a home run derby or fan festivities if they'd like to.
I don't know. There's a part of me
but
that thinks
I think it's a place that's earned, and we've disrespected it by having fans just vote in whoever. It's a popularity contest.
I get what you're saying.
Not fair.
I get what you're saying, but you're telling me, as you being a Yankees fan, if Aaron Judge, which doesn't seem to ever happen, if he had a rough start, was batting like 230, it's like, yeah, Judge isn't an all-star. I'd be like, that's horse
When you
crap.
were a little kid and the
Ozzy
coaches...
Smith made it every year. Cal Ripken Jr. made it every year. These guys weren't lighting it up every year.
I'm saying, well, they were. When you look back, they were the league leaders in most things.
You think every single year?
I'm just saying, when the coach's son made the Little League All-Star team, what did you say? Oh, politics, right? You want those same politics infiltrating professional sports in life when it should be about merit, not about popularity or who you know or what you're connected to. I mean, I think it's an honor for so many players. And if they have the stats, they should be there. It's simple as that. But we'll be out there because we were voted #1 show on Fox Sports Radio.
Yes.
Thank you guys for sending us. Appreciate the votes.
Gonna be fun.
I just hate that because, again, as a Yankees fan, you just get a bunch of Yankees Dodgers who don't necessarily deserve it over other people like your boy, Juan Soto.
Well, we're talking about all-stars, but there's one guy that I think, shockingly enough, I mean, it was really shocking. He stole the show, 4th of July, Coney Island. My dude, your dude, Joey Chestnut walks away with his 17th hot dog title.
But here he stands, quiet of talking, still of motion, content of worry. Shy of a god, perhaps, but more than a man. With 70.5 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes, the Nathan's famous 4th of July champion of the world, Joey Chestnut!
Joey Chestnut! Merit earned. And there it is right there.
Yeah.
True legend with his 17th victory. Ties the Lakers for 17 trophies.
Is that how we're comparing it?
I'd say this is the biggest comeback since Michael Jordan's "I'm back" announcement. I would have to say that.
Just steps right in.
Huge moment.
Wins one.
In sports history.
Better than Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't win the year he came back.
I know.
He had to wait another year after
70.5, which, again, his goal was 80, I believe he said, on this show. Didn't quite achieve that, but still smoked the competition because he's that much better. And props to Miki Sudo. She won her 11th women's title, another superstar in the game. But I'll admit, even though I find this to be one of the biggest events of the year, I did not watch. I was not watching that.
How dare you? How dare you not support our pal?
I mean, I'm always torn, seriously, when we talk Joey Chestnut because I do like the guy. So I don't want to come across as disingenuous or two-faced. But when it comes to that competition, not my vibe at all. Like, I don't wake up for it. It's not like, wake up early to watch.
Well, I think it's the same sentiment as,
it's kind of gross
it's like
to
watching,
me.
It's like watching a parade on Thanksgiving.
I'm not one of those, like, light stomach, sort of queasy kind of, but I can't really watch that and enjoy it or give it any kind of credit. I feel like things like that are what make people hate Americans.
I mean, it's sort of disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean,
so, I don't want to talk bad about the guy because I actually do like Joey Chestnut. We've met him a bunch of times, and he is the
big time friend of the show. He doesn't do that much national radio.
No,
you guys,
I appreciate him.
He actually says nice things about you guys.
Yeah.
When I'm texting with him,
he's a stellar fella
until now.
And
exactly.
He
Thanks.
takes his craft very serious, which I respect. I really do. Great work ethic. He's, a true competitor. All those things. I really mean that. But as far as the sport,
could it be disgusting and awesome at the same time?
You know what? Two things can be true. Bam. Thank you, Danny G. I'll go with that.
Disgusting and awesome at the same time? Look at Covino's search history.
Yeah. Awesome and disgusting at the same time.
I got to ask, though, when you see his dominance, and I think the over-under, I think he slightly hit the under, but.
Well, his personal record was like 76, I think, dogs.
One of the bets
and
people.
As the ongoing joke went, he showed once again he has that dog in him.
When you saw the bet that people were making was how many hot dogs would he beat second place by? It was like 20-something. In sports. And, you could jokingly say sports when we talk about our pal Joey Chestnut. But in competition, in sport, when was the last time we've seen dominance on a level where, now it's like every year this guy's going to win by 20 hot dogs until what? One day he's like, I have too much indigestion, and he just hangs it up because he wants to?
Like overall dominance, like Joey Chestnut type of dominance? That's a good one. Tyson comes to mind.
Tyson in the mid-'80s?
Yeah,
late
he was
80s?
so invincible in our childhood brains, too. In our brains, especially because we were brainwashed by Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Yeah.
0073735963. He was unbeatable because once you got past Soda Popinski and Super Macho Man and everybody else, right? You got to him, one punch knocked you out, and you're like, what? Knocked you down, but eventually out.
Yeah.
And you saw that in real life, too, so you built this up in your brain that he was the most unbeatable guy that ever was, which is why you were extra shocked when he lost to Douglas 42-1 in Tokyo.
I remember.
So it would be, when you think of dominance of our childhood, it has to be Mike Tyson up there.
There was a point later on, fast forward 20-something years later, women fighting, Ronda Rousey.
Well, she had the armbar. She had an unbeatable move.
There was a moment
until again she became vulnerable.
Yeah, there was a moment in time where Ronda Rousey was unbeatable.
Well, if you're going to talk about that, I'm going to have to bring up Ivan Drago then too, because there was one point where we didn't think he was human.
I must break you.
We didn't think he bled blood. And then Rocky made him bleed his own blood.
I think we just nailed it. So Tyson, Drago, and Ronda Rousey,
Overall
and Joey Chestnut.
Don't forget
dominance.
Mac McClung in the slam dunk competition.
You know what? That little fella, he wins
I
every
would
year.
say if we were having an unassuming conversation, he'd be in it for sure. Like the most unassuming dude to keep winning. Man, overall dominance.
Moment in time. What about?
Well, Babe Ruth is another one. I mean, because what makes him legend is
the Babe.
He had more home runs than several teams combined, like the rest of the league combined.
There was a point where you would look at old stats.
And back to hot dogs, I think he had the record at the time for those.
Before Joey.
Yeah, before Joey Chestnut.
But wasn't there, who did stats back then? Elias from the Sports Bureau was like Grandpappy?
Yeah.
Back then, there were stats where
Ebenezer from the Sports Bureau.
Babe Ruth, I'm not even joking. I believe he had more home runs than the rest of the league at one point.
I'm pretty sure.
There were times where it was like, Babe Ruth had this many home runs, and the rest of the league had the same.
The Babe was hitting bombs.
Michael Phelps in the Olympics at one point, where it was like, he's just whatever. There's no one that's going to outswim Michael Phelps in his prime. Like whatever the race was, whatever the stroke was.
And he did it on a worldwide level, right? Worldwide dominance, too. So, yeah, he always had dominance. And that's why, again, these are legends that we talk about all the time. But Joey Chestnut is superior in that world. I know it sounds ridiculous, obviously, guys, but it is true. It's like my joke here. I say all the time, I go, even when I'm late, I'm still the earliest one. Even Joey Chestnut, and I say that disgruntled every day.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut, even with a meager performance.
But by the
from
way,
his standard,
when you get here earlier than everyone,
do
people realize 20 minutes is you just fixing your hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
20 minutes is definitely, is fixing my pompadour.
I was here 20 minutes before you guys. Yeah, you were fixing your hair.
But his 70.5 is still way more dominant than anybody else.
I'll give you the dumbest analogy. It would be like,
by the way, how many dogs did you have this weekend?
I had 2. I was 68 and a half shy.
Who has the record in the studio? Sam, Danny G,
not 6.
I think you were at my house and you had you had a hot dog, you had 2 hot dogs and an Italian sausage, and you might have had a second one. You might have had 5.
I think I had 4 total this weekend, in 2 days. I had a total count of 4 dogs. How about you, Danny G?
I didn't overeat this past weekend.
I mean, that was in 2 days. That's not overeating.
The way you made it sound.
Saturday and Sunday. I had 2 on Saturday. I had 2 on Sunday.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
How about you, Sam? Are you the league leader in the clubhouse?
I had a couple. I had 2 or 3 on Friday night.
I mean, since this show is all over the place.
That means 5.
We're consuming dogs.
Since, this show just takes its own path, let me ask you about hot dogs for a second.
Sure.
Wait a second. That wasn't in the show notes.
When, we've talked to our buddy Rob Parker, who loves to buy those New York City brand dogs.
Yeah. Red onions.
He does the red onions with is it the Sabrets?
Sabret, bro.
Sabret?
Yeah.
Those New York City.
Get it right, bro.
Sabret. Rob Parker, who works here at Fox Sports, always loves those red onions on the Sabret New York City hot dog. That's the boiled hot dog. I feel like the only time you could boil a dog is those New York City carts. When you get a barbecue going.
You eat them because you're drunk or out of desperation. That's why.
Why can't they push grills the way they do in Los Angeles, Rich?
Yeah, I'm not saying
that. You're outside Dodger Stadium. I'm sorry, outside like Staples Center or Dodger Stadium.
Coliseum.
You got all those,
bacon wrapped.
Those men and women making those bacon wrap ones. Yeah. I got to ask, though, are you one of those people? Because I went to a barbecue on Friday. Then I had a couple people over on Saturday. Covino and his family stopped by. I just throw the dogs on the grill, Nathan style, flip them a couple times, nice crisp. Are you one of those people that start cutting into the hot dog, making those crisscross designs and crap?
I do, because I had an Uncle Mario. We call him Mario, but the world says Mario. So Uncle Mario on the East Coast always cut the ends, and when he curled up a little bit, he said that's when he knew they were done. But that just became sort of what I saw growing up, and that's really you could tell when a dog's done regardless. I get it. But that was sort of the thing. And I guess it heats up the inside. I don't know the thinking behind it, but
yeah,
I cut up the dog a little bit.
Yeah, but there are some people that like crisscross the whole damn dog, and I'm like, what are you doing here?
I mean, they're getting fancy with it.
My mom liked them burned the same way you like your steak, Covino.
I like them a little crispy myself. Yeah, thank you. But Joey Chestnut,
congrats to Joey.
He just houses them.
He put himself in a league of his own. I think we can move along. And
anyone else though, like dominance, like overall, just straight up dominance when they came in.
I think we named it. I mean, you could. I mean,
Andre the Giant, maybe you're forgetting people.
Oh, the Hulkster in the '80s.
The Hulkster was unbeatable.
Before Hulk Hogan lost to the Ultimate Warrior in WrestleMania 6, there was a good 6-7 year run where, as far as sports entertainment, they made us as children think that the Hulkster was unbeatable, right? I mean, that was the whole gimmick of the Hulkster, unbeatable. He was about to get
up.
He would be down for the count, and then he would Hulk up, brother. 1, 2, and then he'd start shaking.
Ooh, I got another answer.
I wanted to switch to a real sport.
What do you got?
You guys didn't mention Tiger Woods.
How dare you? Oh, Tiger in his prime.
Yeah. How about Wayne Gretzky in hockey?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I mean, he's the great one for a reason. His numbers are just so far superior than most. How about Bo Jackson in Tecmo Bowl?
Tecmo Bowl. Okay.
Unstoppable in Tecmo Bowl.
Him and Marcus Allen.
Yeah, the Raiders, right? Am I right? Tecmo Bowl? All right, so think about it. Joey Chestnut, again, flexes his dominance once more. Even at his worst,
I mean,
he's still so far superior.
It sounds ridiculous what we're saying, but if you want to consider hot dog eating a sport, a competition.
He's great at it.
But I'm saying he is not just winning. He's not just pulling a Charlie Sheen in the 2000s. Winning. He is dominating on a level where it's like you would think that some other jabroni would figure out how to do it. Like, come on, there's glory involved. There's a lot of competitive eaters. There's people that do this. We know that. Yet no one's close. No one's in the ballpark. No one's even like within 10 hot dogs of this guy.
Ballpark, pun intended.
Yeah.
So
think about it. Like you said, Tyson in the 80s, where he would get in the ring with other heavyweight champion-level fighters, and they look scared and losing a round.
It's like men playing with boys. It's like Sandler playing dodgeball with a bunch of kindergarten kids.
Oh,
it's like Kramer doing karate with 8-year-olds.
It's so funny you would say that because that's what I was about to say a few minutes ago. Like when you look at Chestnut and how he just whoops the competition, that would be like if you were like, all right, kid, you want to play one-on-one basketball, and you're playing against like your 8-year-old kid.
By the way, there's a video that I love. It's so funny of this little kid, and he throws the wiffle ball to like his older brother or his uncle or something, and instead of just like hitting it like a normal person would, he just hacks it like he's Jim Tomei, and he hits a bomb over the house, and the little kid starts crying.
Gotta teach him.
Oh, it's the best.
Gotta teach him.
I don't know if there's something weird inside, but I love seeing a kid upset like that. It's so funny to me.
Look up at the monitors right now. Wimbledon is on.
Oh, Djokovic.
73 singles titles, 23 doubles, 39 Grand Slam titles. Serena Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but I was saying,
female dominance.
Yeah, that is a great answer. And much like, Serena being so dominant, it's sort of,
when you say Shaq is a big man, like, they didn't know how to defend that guy when he
won 3
became
it. I mean, Kobe won 3 in a row, but
what was his biggest criticism? Like, himself.
Yeah.
Like, he had so much dominance and so much potential to be even more dominant.
Yeah, I think of Hakeem Olajuwon too.
Okay,
he was unstoppable.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, everyone's gonna be like Michael Jordan because the minute he did get past the Pistons and the Celtics in the East, the minute that happened in 1990, once the 90-91 season sort of happened.
Right. Well,
Michael Jordan was unstoppable until he decided to hang it up in 98. You could say he came back, but
there were other greats not as great, but again, Olajuwon. When it comes to Tyson, when it comes to Babe Ruth, when it comes to Chestnut, and we say that facetiously but seriously at the same time, again, what makes them is how far they separate themselves from the next second place person.
Isn't Katie Ledecky, are we forgetting to give her props in like the swimming world, right? What's up, Spotty?
I was going to say, aren't you leaving out 3-time consecutive Sportswoman of the Year, Angel Reese?
That's true.
Yeah.
3 times.
You're also leaving out 30-time last one standing champion Dan Byer.
Domination.
Yeah.
Just dominates us every week.
That game is coming up in hour 3.
You know what? If you want to chime in, hey, at Covino and Rich in for Dan Patrick as we get our week started. Now it's you know what it is now that the 4th of July is over?
I mean, Rich, I gave you
Summer's pretty much
20
over.
minutes to bring it up. And I didn't want to say it and pat myself on the back like Barry Horowitz. I didn't want to toot my own horn. But how about me in Little League when I was 12? 27 Little League home runs, dude. The next kid had like 5.
This is never going to go away.
Come on, bro. My 12-year-old season. Actually, when I was 12, I hit 14, right? But I hit 27 total. I hit 14 home runs in Little League. Next kid had like 4.
Do we need to follow that up with reminding people that don't know you that Covino is the same height now than when he was 12?
That's the point. I was so dominant. I was huge.
You know, Covino.
I was a huge 12-year-old.
You were the biggest,
but I never really grew after
biggest Latino kid ever. They thought Danny Almonte got questioned.
Yeah.
Steve Covino.
They would ask my parents for
the
the birth certificate every game.
He was like Giant Gonzalez when he was 12.
Yeah.
Never grew another inch.
So I was hitting bombs. But then everyone caught up to me.
Then
so
he went from.
I mean, when we're talking overall dominance, we got to bring it up.
He went from Giant Gonzalez to Altuve.
Yes, exactly.
Something
like
stopped.
that. But you know what? You're really painting an image that I'm like 5'6", which is not the case here.
When you have to add,
but I don't want to flex like the guy on Love Island and brag about my 5'10". It's not quite the flex.
Hey guys, breaking news.
What do we got?
Sam, not the official sound that we have, but can somebody do like a drum roll on their chest or their belly?
Yeah.
Wait, who had the most hot dogs? Do it on your belly. Joey Chestnut just texted me back. He is joining us in hour 3.
Oh,
Joey
nice.
Chestnut, look at that. We get to chop it up with a champion. I'm curious who he puts on that list. So you know what? There you go. Joey Chestnut.
I want to see how he's feeling today.
Yeah. How do you think Joey is feeling 3 days later? What do you think he does for the last 2 days or so after the 4th of July? We'll ask him. You know what? We'll hang with Joey Chestnut hour 3. So hang tight. We got more Covino and Rich in for the great Dan Patrick next right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Wake up, it's 2 pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Yes!
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available. We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special. Yes.
Who wants that?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah! Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes!
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Yes!
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time. You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape.
With the biggest talent and the best programming available. We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
if the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special. Yes.
Who wants that?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah! Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes!
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game.
We bring you the best. I mean, our best. We bring our best every day, especially when we're in for the great Dan Patrick. We got Iowa Sam on the ones and twos. We got super producer Danny G on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. Again, we're Covino and Rich. Spots on the videos at Covino and Rich.
Well,
normally 2 to 4 on the west, 5 to 7 on the east, but always a pleasure to wake up bright and early.
You know it, buddy.
For DP.
It's an honor to fill in for Dan Patrick. And
Yes, it is.
shout out to the Danettes, Fritzy, and Marvin, and all our pals. We appreciate you guys letting us sit in It's funny because every time I think of Dan Patrick, which is often, I do think about how cool it is that he's in Sandler movies and The Sandman and Happy Gilmore too. That's a couple weeks away. I know we're pumped about that. And just the other day we were talking about old school jams, old school summer songs and whatnot. And our video guy Spot brought up Jock Jam.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you think you can name every song as it happens? And I forgot that who kicks off that song? Welcome to the big show. Dan Patrick is the guy in Jock Jam that you listen to what?
By the way, you're
thousands
speaking to his audience that are probably like,
exactly.
no, duh.
Well, then maybe they forgot. When was the last time you threw in the Jock Jam, Danny G? 90s style.
When I jam, it's not normally the Jock Jam.
The jam.
Yeah, no, it's been a minute. Did you know that, Danny G, like off the top of your head?
I did know that, yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're talking to his audience, so they're probably like, yeah, dude, welcome to the show.
It's because we're radio nerds, so we were always in charge of the music, even when we were in school. So we had the Jock Jam CD, and you just put that bad boy in, and there was your soundtrack for whatever event was going on at the school.
By the way, it's muscle memory. I'm not saying let's do it now, but when you're bored as hell later today or something at work, put on Jock Jam, and you will somehow know every transition from song to song to song. It was just part of your workout mix, or you played in the locker room at school and high school. Like, that was just part of it, no?
No, I worked out to the Rocky soundtrack, bro. I don't know what you little boys did. I'm just kidding.
You worked out.
I'm just kidding. By the way, Rich is going to tell you next how Dan Patrick also hosted Sports Center. So
Shut
stick
up.
around. Stick around for that.
By the way, as far as domination, we are going to have Joey Chestnut give us a little recap, hour 3. Joey Chestnut's going to call in, but Mike, who runs this place,
Who?
the guy who runs iHeart and everything,
I don't think he runs any of that.
He said Michael Phelps is a great answer because know who else is? For a moment, Bolt. We're saying Bolt.
Oh, yeah.
And Pele back in the day was like the one soccer
Like
star everyone
men
knew.
amongst boys,
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
That's the point. The
Joey
point
Chestnut,
is,
he definitely has that sort of dominance in his game, in his sport.
yeah, it's less about, he keeps winning. I'm just saying he took not a year off, but he had his other obligation. You would think that some other grown man would be like, you know what, I could get within 20 hot dogs of this guy.
Can't do it. Legend.
But it's not even like, he won again by 3 hot dogs. It's like Tyson knocking out other heavyweight champions in 60 seconds. It's that type of I know it's hot dog eating versus boxing or,
But
basketball
honestly,
or
that's
football.
what the sport needed. Someone like him to bring it even more into the mainstream. That's why we talk about him. That's why when it comes to competitive eating, how many names do you really know? Crazy Legs Conti and Joey Chestnut?
Kobayashi?
Yeah, like you only know really Joey Chestnut, like the average fella is only going to know, Joey Chestnut because he's that legendary when it comes to hot dog eating and competitive eating, period. Again, Covino and Rich live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and most cars on the road could use a little TLC. At Mako, we bring your car back to life with affordable paint jobs and light collision repairs. Get a free estimate today. Better get Mako.
Now, speaking of domination and speaking of just something special, I'll give your boy credit yesterday. He wasn't as dominant as he's been over the last, couple months, but what would the Yankees be doing without Max Fried right now?
Oh, he is the only shining light. Well, Aaron Judge, too. He's on, his own personal record pace of home runs. He's still dominant, but the Yankees are stinking like Abe Lincoln. That's just the truth. And they played Rich's Mets
Things
over
were
the
smelly
weekend.
in the 1800s, so
Yeah.
you think of how smelly that is.
Yes.
Like Mary Todd. What? Ugh.
No, for real. But Max Fried is the stopper. Every team needs one. He stops the bleeding. He comes out there. He's 11-2, by the way, and he probably should be 12-1, I guess.
I mean, I look.
He's had one stinker, but
I look at Max Fried for the Yankees, and not going to say I told you so, but I'm a National League fan more than American. I'm a Mets fan. And when you guys got Max Fried, I was like, man, you were like, good. I guess it's a good move.
Sometimes you need to see a player day in, day out to understand how great they really are.
He's dominant, and you knew if he got a chance for a team like the Yankees, as much as I hate, he was going to dominate. Southern California kid, lives out here on the way. Grew up out here, I believe, right in Santa Monica. Played out here.
He's incredible to watch.
And yesterday with the Yankee, and this is so important for any team in any sport to have You said the guy that stops the bleeding, because the Yankees have looked like trash. And I was like, oh, man, Max Fried. Yesterday, I'm a Mets fan. I'm like, well, today is the day the Mets lose because Max Fried, they're not going to lose 7 in a row. Max Fried's your only savior.
They're just not playing baseball. And someone said it's like someone pulled the plug out. It's like they forgot how to play. They're not really playing the game. It's so weird to see a team go from dominant to just trash overnight.
There's a way.
Someone flipped a switch.
When you watch the Yankees, and again, I'm a big Mets fan. They were stinking. They won, 4 in a row until the Yankees won yesterday. So the Mets are trying to get back on track. Baseball's hot right now. Your Yankees, when I watch that team a little closer when they're playing, my team, or I'm just watching a Yanks game, I feel like if you could pitch around Aaron Judge, the lineup's not as scary as it looks. That's
the Ron Washington way of the game.
Yeah,
he's the Yankees might beat me, but I'm not going to let Aaron Judge beat me, and that's why he's gonna break records, I think, for intentional walks this season because he's already up there. We're only halfway there, but he's been intentionally walked a million times, and that's been the trick. And no one else steps up, and now guys like Anthony Volpe are taking the heat.
There was a point yesterday, and again, I don't expect everyone to have watched the Mets-Yankees game, but it was the national game of the week yesterday that was on. It was free on MLB, Mets-Yankees. I mean, it still got clout. There was a point where it was a close enough game, and I was like, all right, first base is open. Why are you pitching to Aaron Judge? And Mendoza decided, pitch to him. First pitch. Didn't even get all of it. Just sort of got enough of it. 2-run home run, just like that. And I'm like, there's a way, if you're an American League team, if you're the Tigers, if you're the Astros.
No, you walk them. I hate that game, but as part of it.
There's a part of me that thinks that come the postseason, you better hope guys like Volpe and Goldschmidt and who's the
Stanton?
Who's your mustachio guy? Lefty? Grisham?
Wells.
If those guys are cold, I would walk Aaron Judge. I know it's boring as hell for baseball, but I would walk him every at bat.
It's called strategery.
Strategery.
No, you're absolutely right, man.
And I did see that over the weekend, that if the team is cold, Aaron Judge, just walk him. Walk him every time. But speaking of your Yankees, is a more interesting story. Less about baseball, more about people's fandom of Seinfeld.
Yeah, this is wild. I think the story, Danny G, super producer, correct me. If I'm wrong, there's a great chance that I will be. August 21st is George Costanza bobblehead night.
Yeah, you got it right.
And tickets, the story is that tickets are less expensive than for what the bobbleheads are going for on the black market. So people are willing to pay.
Slow down. Black market? Do you mean like eBay?
No.
Black market.
No, black market.
Spot, it's on the dark web.
It is. Yeah. No, because people are trying to get their hands on these illegally because they're such a hot item.
I was walking down the street. Someone pulled me into a door, and I had to go down the stairs and down an alleyway and in the back.
I got him.
Yeah. You think I'm kidding?
It's the whole thing of George Costanza bobbleheads.
What's the deal with bobbleheads?
Yo, you think I'm kidding? I'm going to throw something at you.
I think the greatest Seinfeld episode ever.
It's one of the best, yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, Yankees, George Costanza bobblehead pre-sales for the actual bobblehead.
Yeah, the bobblehead is
more
him
than
sleeping with a pillow under the desk.
Yes. But they're going for more than tickets to that day's game.
The average ticket price for that game on StubHub, let's say, was about $50. The average pre-sale price, and I don't even know how you pre-sale something you don't have your hands on eBay, was well over $200.
Because you got these
for reference,
these trash bag ticket holders that just want to sell it.
For reference, they recently did an Aaron Judge special Superman promo bobblehead.
I'd walk him.
That no, he flies. That leaps tall buildings in a single bound. That was only about $100 on eBay.
Costanza.
And again, this goes back to something we've ranted about before, and I believe our boy Evan Roberts also brought this up. It's only given out to the first 18,000 fans, which makes boneheads want it even more.
Yeah.
I say boneheads respectfully because I don't know why you would want this silly thing anyway.
To me, I'll give him props. I heard we used to work with him at Maxim Radio back in the day at Sirius XM. Evan Roberts is now on in New York City, WFAN.
What the hell is a Maxim?
You remember magazines?
Remember when print media was a thing?
Who?
Evan went on a rant, and I saw him about a year ago saying how when they do a giveaway at a stadium, whatever the sponsor is, you tell me you can't pony up and make sure everyone that enters the stadium gets that. Honestly, print more bobbleheads, print more banners, make more crappy
not
T-shirts.
Just for the goofball collector, but I don't know. You're taking your kid there, and now you got to sit with their sourpuss for the rest of the day because they didn't get one because Dad was late.
I just remember my daughter.
That's not fair.
My daughter went with her friend to a Dodgers game out here because it was like Hello Kitty night, and they had to leave early because we got to make sure we get them. And I'm like, every
and
stadium.
It brings out the worst. It's like when TVs are on sale for Black Friday. You get people fighting over the hottest Christmas gift. It brings out the worst because everyone's trying to get there and cause a ruckus just to get their hands on the stupid bobblehead. And if you don't get one, your whole day's ruined.
Do you remember?
So I hate that. It's a trash move.
Do you remember when they did the bobblehead? It was Shohei and his dog.
Shohei Ohtani.
And his dog. It was Ohtani and his puppy.
There was a line for probably the night before. People were lined up just to be first into the stadium.
It was
Shohei Ohtani.
Ridiculous.
It should be something like, all children under 14 or something ridiculous like that. They got to figure that out.
You mean these billion-dollar teams and billion-dollar companies? When you're already making the money on concessions, the tickets, everything, I am a firm believer that every kid that enters the stadium.
Every kid, that's all I'm saying.
Every kid.
I'm not saying every
kid
goofball there should get one. I'm saying every kid should definitely be guaranteed that they get a. Well, then again, I don't want to raise a softy pants either, right? Hey, you don't always get what you want, kid. Scramble them a ding dong. I get it. It's a decent life lesson, but you're going there, and why did they stop that promotion at Domino's, Rich? Remember, it was like, get your pizza in 30 minutes or less, or it's free because
people were dying in car crashes.
Exactly, everyone was trying to get the pizza there on time, and they were crashing their cars. You got all these maniacs just trying to get to the stadium in time and early enough to get this dumbass bobblehead. And I have to ask you, what are you doing with it, grown-ups? I might be the most immature guy you know. Let's just say I'm 40-something years old.
No one interrupted you there, by the way.
Right,
fair?
guys?
Okay.
Right?
Your mom did your laundry until you were 28.
And I'm telling you, what are you doing with all these bobbleheads? What's with the bobblehead craze?
You bragged maybe like 5 years ago that you learned how to make a scrambled egg for your daughter.
We all have our things that we collect, and I get that, but the craze for bobbleheads is just beyond me. And I'm a sports fan. All right, so what do you think about that? We'll take your phone calls, plus we play Last One Standing. We got more Covino and Rich in for the great Dan Patrick.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say. It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar? Yeah. Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio.
When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the funk.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
I'm going to have some fun. Fun. Natural fun. It's super fun time with Covino and Rich. In for Dan Patrick. Man. We got Iowa Sam on the ones and twos. Danny G on the phones, 877-99 on Fox. Again, our video streaming live on Fox Sports Radio's YouTube page, courtesy of our killer team here, Spot and Elijah and Sagar. We're Covino and Rich. Steve Covino and Rich Davis.
Yeah. And by the way, we're going to bring that fun as we fill in next week for Dan Patrick. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're going to be doing it live from the MLB All-Star Game. Hotlanta, here we come, the ultimate baseball hotspot. You can be part of the excitement at Capital One All-Star Village. That starts up this Saturday, July 12th through Tuesday the 15th. Head to the Cobb Galleria for baseball fun, live entertainment, and interactive games. Just a really good time for the family if you want to take a walk around there with the wifey, the kids, the girlfriend, the hubby, you name it. You'll have fun. Buy tickets today at allstargame.com.
And again, we're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. After the show, the DP podcast and our stream goes up. If you miss any of today's show, any show ever, even over the weekend, Danny G puts up the best of the week. Search Covino and Rich wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to follow, rate, and review. 5 stars only, because anything less is uncivilized. And we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Hope you had a nice weekend. I hope all your fingers are intact. I hope you backed it up, Terry. I hope you enjoyed some.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse.
I hope you had some oohs and ahs. And I hope you enjoyed the farewell to Ozzy Osbourne. I want to talk about that for a second, too. But
Ozzy Osbourne, huh?
Yeah, to wrap up.
Calling it quits.
Yeah, he's done.
His daughter stole his moment.
Get out of here. That's not even possible. But I know what you mean.
Didn't Ozzy have his farewell?
Ozzy's final bow. The reunion of Ozzy with Black Sabbath, first time since 2005 they've performed together, all original members. It was their last performance in Birmingham, England, and tons of superstars were there for the moment, yeah.
Tell me if you can name 5 Ozzies.
Ozzy Canseco.
Ooh, good one.
Ozzy Smith.
Yep.
Oswaldo Cabrera.
He
Why?
doesn't go by Ozzy.
Ozzy Osbourne, so that's 3.
All right, Ozzy Osbourne, Ozzy Canseco, Ozzy Smith.
Ozzy and Harriet. Right?
Who came up with that one? Your grandma?
You said. You didn't say there was a time span I had to
Come on,
do
one
it
more.
within.
One more Ozzy.
Ozzy the cat.
Ozzy Guillen.
There's good one. How about
I could be here.
How about NFL? Ozzy Newsome.
Ozzy Newsome. I was thinking of him, too. You got some Ozzies.
There you go. That is some good ones.
In the mix. But when you think of Ozzy, I guess Ozzy Osbourne is the number one Ozzy.
I think so. You know, Rich jokingly said Ozzy Smith is the most famous Ozzy. I'm like, well, you know, he's a legend for sure.
Does Ozzy Osbourne do
Wizard of
backflips in
Oz.
the infield?
No, but Ozzy Osbourne, they formed Black Sabbath in 1967. So, I mean, they say the Godfathers of metal for a reason. Started something completely different.
I mean, they started Ozzy Osbourne started playing music before we landed on the moon. So I get it. And I just thought when he did his final show this past weekend, I saw one clip on social media where I guess his future son-in-law proposed to Kelly Osbourne backstage, and I'm like, this is Dad's final moment. What are you doing, you knucklehead? Taking the moment? I was saying, isn't that stealing the moment?
A little bit.
It's like getting engaged at someone else's wedding.
There was 100,000 people there for Ozzy, so I don't know how you steal that moment with a backstage announcement.
I just
you know what I
feel
mean?
like it's
the thinking was I want to do it in front of her family and friends and make it special. It's a special day. I'm sure he had Ozzy's consent. Ozzy's sitting there. Sharon's all happy about it. I don't think
you have my blessings.
Yeah, he does say, he's like, you will not. He actually says you're not going to marry my daughter before he proposes, and he got a nice laugh out of it. But I don't think you could steal a moment when something that big is going on.
So, you ever see those stories where at a wedding someone's like, "We're having a baby," or like someone announces a baby and it's like, "Oh yeah, well, will you marry me?" Like there are times where you let it breathe. I get it though. Maybe it's just a nice family moment for everyone, right? Ozzy's last show, daughter gets engaged.
I think on a smaller level, yes, that would be stealing the moment. To make some sort of announcement, a birth announcement at someone else's event or someone's wedding, or get engaged at someone else's wedding, yeah, that's inappropriate and potentially stealing the moment. This was just like an ancillary prize or something. This was just an extra bonus.
That would be like when Clayton Kershaw struck out number 3,000, like 2 minutes later, like one of the players like proposed to his girlfriend. I mean, stealing the moment is a thing.
By the way, to put it in perspective too,
yeah,
why Ozzy Osbourne's such a legend and why Black Sabbath gets his credit, they formed in 1967. Rod Carew and Tom Seaver were the rookies of the year. That's how long they've been doing it.
All right, he's old as hell.
Come
now.
on, yeah, you got to give him credit.
All right, well, listen, we're going to get to a bunch. In for the great Dan Patrick. We'll talk some NFL. Talk a little All-Star game, baseball, all coming up right here. Fox Sports Radio. Monday. Let's go.
Yeah.